Hey everybody, Danny Rufo here. Hope everyone had a nice Father's Day today. I certainly did. Great time with my kids and the wife. Some family time. It was good to relax a little bit. Sunday night over here. I thought I'd come out with something else for everybody. I got a lot of things coming in the bullpen. So at the end of tonight's broadcast, I'll give you a little forecast. What's coming, some of the topics that's coming. So today, another request on the request line, a former student, Billy Webb Cipher. I taught her a long time ago over at Del Castle. It was my Del Castle baseball shirt I got on tonight. And she moved out west, Indiana, Ohio, Iowa, one of them ones near the big lakes. And she sent me a little thing about soda versus pop. And she's got some trouble with the people out there with how they talk. So it's a nice little subject. I thought we'd talk about a little bit. Some parts of America, on the East Coast and the West Coast, we generally call soda. I say soda myself. And then in the middle area, they say pop. That's their big thing. In some places, they put them together, soda pop. Right, so depending on where you are, it's soda, it's pop, it's soda pop. I grew up in the 70s, the 80s. I drank a lot of soda. I still do. When I go to a restaurant today, I say Coke. Coke has become a generic term for me. It gets on my nerves. I say, give me a Coke, and the waiter or the waitress says, is Pepsi okay? Now you know what I'm talking. Brown and bubbly. What's what you... I know why they got to ask, some kind of thing, but I say Coke, and sometimes I get corrected. Well, we have Pepsi, bro. Okay. But I use the word Coke just as a word unto itself. I don't even use soda. That is Coke. So, I drank a lot. I know a lot of people get away from that now. Soda's got a bad rap. I know now they don't use the sugar. They use the high fructose corn syrup. Maybe that's no good, but I still like a nice Coca-Cola. Give me a little effervescence, you know what I mean? Makes me a nice burp. It feels good, right? So I thought I'd give you a little history. We'll start with the big two, right? Coca-Cola. Coca-Cola established 1886 in Atlanta, Georgia by John Pemberton. Originally, it was a medicine. It was a patent medicine, which we find on several of these products. They say the original recipe had cocaine. So it was used primarily as a medicine, and then changed later, became what we know it today. And if you're old enough to remember, we've survived Coke, and then New Coke. That was a disaster. And then the original recipe was back, Coke Classic. Nowadays, I don't even think they put that. I just say Coke. They try to pretend like that never happened. But Coke's been around a long time. One of the big boys in the industry. Pepsi, I suppose, is the other big boy. And I got nothing against Pepsi. I drink it too, but I use the word Coke in my life. But Pepsi also starts. A guy named Caleb Bradham also starts as a medicine. It starts in North Carolina, 1898. And the word Pepsi comes from the word dyspepsia, which is indigestion or agita, if you know what I mean. And it started to give people a little bit of this Pepsi, helps their stomach. So we see Coke and Pepsi open up as medicinal uses. 7-Up, another big player. That gets started by a guy named Charles Lipier Grigg in St. Louis, Missouri in 1920. It was originally called Bib Labeled Lithiated Lemon Lime Soda. How'd you like to say that next time you're at the Applebee's, And the reason it had that name, it also had medicinal purposes. It had lithium citrate as one of the ingredients, and that was a mood stabilizing drug. They took that out in 1948. It sounds like if you lived a long time ago, you were having a good time drinking this stuff. Today, doesn't have the same, right? But this stuff had lithium in it. And it was also a patent medicine. Some people like the Dr. Pepper. I'm not a fan, okay? But I know a lot of people like. So I wrote it down. Starts in Waco, Texas, 1885. Also for digestion, that guy's name was Charles Alderton, pharmacist. Let's move on. A lot of people like root beer. Root beer is the oldest. It was being made by the Native Americans before any Europeans even got here. They used sarsaparilla or they used sassafras. Those were the ingredients for root beer. And the biggest one, the original Hires, 1875. A&W comes from California a little bit later, 1919. So root beer's been around for a while. Ginger ale. I like a nice ginger ale. Ginger ale starts in Belfast, Ireland in the 1860s. It was a brown version, a little darker, a little bit more spice. By 1890, the Canadians, a guy named John McLaughlin, he came up with the term dry ginger ale. It was lighter color, didn't have as much ginger taste. Canada Dry, still around today. I like ginger ale. In the Italian house, we grew up with ginger ale because my father, who made his own wine, very strong, he would cut the wine with ginger ale. And so when I was a kid, they give me a little wine at dinner. We put ginger ale in the wine. So I grew up with ginger ale. We always had ginger ale around. Also, I think of ginger ale as the healthy one. When you're in a hospital, they give you ginger ale, a little can ginger ale. If they give it to you in a hospital, it's got to be okay, right? So I think of ginger ale. I think sometimes like a hospital drink. So those are the big boys. I know there's a lot of other ones, right? Again, regional. There's a lot of regional drinks that I'm not privy to. There's one from here, Philadelphia region. Some of you might remember there was one called Frank's. And their tagline in their commercial, is it Frank's? Thanks. That was their thing. Maybe they haven't been around for a while now. But I remember Frank's soda. One of the flavors they had that I liked a lot was a black cherry Wishniak. I don't know what the hell a Wishniak is, but I remember that tasted pretty good. So, some of the regional drinks that some of you, and please, comment. Let me know what you drank, what kind of sodas were around you, what kind of sodas have gone away. And there's a whole bunch, I got RC Cola, Royal Crown, the original Diet with Tab. Remember Tab? Now you got a whole kinds of Diet Zero, Coke Zero, Diet My. It was Tab. Tab was the one. They used the saccharin. That was bad for you, remember? So, quite a bit of history on soda. Soda pop. Again, it's all good. I like it. I drink it. So this is a little fun one I had for you tonight on a little topic that just popped up. Remember, visit my site, Social Studies Class with Rufo, or Rufo Social Studies Class. Join me on there, and you'll get to see these videos. I got lots of things in the oven. I got a series on the Big Pizza Show. I got a whole lot to say about pizza, so that's cooking. We're working on that. I got a show coming up on the history of Delaware, 3-part series. I want some of you guys to know a little bit about where I am, a little bit about the first state. For a lot of people, all they know is 15 minutes getting between Maryland and Pennsylvania. So I'll tell you a little bit about Delaware. I got a show on Christopher Columbus coming up. So we got quite a few coming up here that I'd like for everybody to see. Please comment. Please keep giving me ideas. I got one coming up on the shore versus the beach. That was also a request. So I'm enjoying this. I'm getting a lot of positive feedback, and I'm enjoying having conversations with people on the Facebook. So please keep in touch. I hope you enjoyed my little jaunt down soda lane. Also, in the old days, soda was a thing. Today, you go 7-Eleven, you buy a bottle of soda. In the old days, you went to the soda shop, the soda fountain. It was a big deal. And they had drinks, the Hoboken, They had, Blue Moon over so and so. They had not funny names, and you'd sit, you have a soda. It's changed over time, and they started as medicines. So a little bit of the history of soft drinks in the United States. Thanks for watching. Keep in touch, and take it easy, everybody. All right, good night. Let me turn this off.